Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ann Miller French with Angelic Hands here to do this week's live. I am streaming on my Facebook page for Angelic Hands and also on my YouTube channel. Anyone that's new to me, welcome. Anyone that is coming back to join me again today, welcome and thank you. I am super excited to share the messages that have been coming through today as I was getting ready for the day and doing my self care and really getting in the flow of everything. I was asking the question, how can I be of service today? What messages can I share with others? And I was hearing the words, you are only responsible for you. Be your own hero. So I'm going to talk about that. Like, what does that mean? And how to identify distractions that are currently in your life or in your now reality that may be keeping you small and are holding you back from moving forward on your life's path and your life's journey. And these are the things where we're spending X amount of time focusing on everything else except for what we're truly meant to be focusing on. I also added just a little bit of commentary in the chat in the feed. So if you are looking to let me know, hi Erin, so nice to see you. Thank you for hopping on. Um, so if you're new to these lives, I am using StreamYard, so you just have to grant StreamYard permission to see your name. So hopefully everything goes through okay. Looks like you got through, Aaron. So yeah, just wow, so much going on, and I've had some. I wanted to share some really cool things that happened last week, and then again yesterday. So yesterday, my husband and I we had family over and just had a beautiful time. We made ribs for the first time, which was a lot of fun. So making some magic and trying some different things, making some different food dishes in the kitchen and then we just had a lot of fun just getting together and talking and just smiling and laughing, and the weather started to turn. So first I could tell that the temperature was dropping, and then I could smell like that scent that you get right before rain is going to come through, and just happened to peek my head outside the garage, and it was the very first time that I have seen, like I've seen rainbows before, but we live in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and this is the first time I actually saw a rainbow right outside of our home, and it was big, it was beautiful. So I will actually share the post on my Facebook page if you'd like to see it. It was gorgeous. And just those beautiful reminders of, if there's any goals that you're working on, things that you're working on, like manifestation, law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. There was always something that my dad always said to me as a little girl, and even later on in my years, sadly, he passed away last year on August 7th. But I remember to this day, he would always say, there's that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Keep going. Don't give up. You've got this. And I thought, I'm going to get emotional. I thought of my dad when I saw that rainbow. It was just so beautiful. And thank you, Erin. Yeah, it's just those beautiful reminders. They come through in different ways. And then we had a visitor come through too. I'll share that picture as well on my feed. It was a pigeon, but it was sitting like it was on our roof right as soon as you walk out our front door, and it was actually our neighbors across the street that told us about it. And this pigeon must have sat there for, gosh, 2 3 hours. and we didn't know if it was injured. So my husband and I, we put some seed out there, some water, and we're just hoping that everything was okay with this bird. And it had very beautiful markings on it. So the one part, like the wing, it had like some black and some different colors on it, but then the body was white. So when I was looking at like, if you look up spirit animals or totem animals or what's the message behind it, it's just talking about that inner peace. And with a lot of the additional changes that I've been going through in the last couple of weeks, it's literally game on. And some additional clearing of energies and really identifying any areas where I still feel stuck. So, those times where I feel like you want to move forward, but you don't know what it is that's standing in your way. So it can be, a wall that we created that we forgot about, or something that we don't want to face, those distractions that I talked about. So learning to identify those different things. And when I'm working with my clients one-on-one, I've had a lot of beautiful, beautiful interactions with my life coaching clients that are where they are ready, like they're making that commitment to themselves. They're taking the time, they're doing the deep inner work required and saying yes to themselves and taking those steps, hire a life coach and to move forward on their journey, to help them to identify those blind spots, those things that are standing in their way, and to be able to create the beautiful life that we all came here to experience. So I really feel like there's so much coming to the surface. Like there's just so much bubbling up to the surface, and we're going through some great changes. So, hang in there. If you're finding that, some days you feel like you're on cloud nine, other days not so much. It's going through the ebbs and the flow. So I'm gonna share with you a couple of things that you can do to help you navigate through that. And just want to give you a little bit of background about me, what I'm all about, my practice. Hi, Chandra. Thank you for coming in today. So, yeah, I totally, I'm seeing the feed come in from Aaron and Chandra. There's so much going on. So, there's different parts to self, and the most beautiful part of this awakening and this ascension journey that we're on is to start identifying the different things that are holding us back. So there was something that was popping up for me today, and I felt guided to share it with all of you, as far as those of us that identify with being an empath, where you literally feel, you can walk into a room and you can, like, you woke up happy, you feel great, but you walk into a room and somebody's crying or they feel sad, then you feel sad. So that's an empath, where they feel things very deeply, or you pick up on the unspoken word, you sense things, like you have all these different psychic abilities. It's quite beautiful, where you can connect with others at a very, very deep level, energetic level. Anyone that identifies as being a starseed, I'm a starseed. If you're a healer, work in the capacity of being a caregiver for others, whatever it is, it's knowing that you can be your own hero in this process, but we did not come here to fix anyone. Those are the words that are coming through. We hold space for other people. This includes family members. This includes if you have children, if you're a caregiver for a loved one, if you're working with clients. Like, I know that I am literally holding space for another person. But the beautiful part is they're ultimately doing the work. It's having that willingness and participation in the process, as someone is going through perhaps a life coaching session, or going through energy healing, or having a reading done, they're there, they're present. And my job is to literally hold that space, shine my light, be the best version of me, and be able to act as a mirror. So we're acting as mirrors for each other and reflecting things back. And if someone that you see that's acting as a mirror to you, if they inspire you, that's reminding you of who you truly are. It's your higher self. If there's someone that is a mirror for you and they're triggering you, or you don't feel so great, or you get really angry with them, you're really upset, it's taking that time out with self and ask yourself the question, what part of me is still not healed? Literally, what is going on inside of this vessel? What's going on inside of me energetically, inside of my body? Or when have I done XYZ to someone else? So it's really bringing those things into your awareness. So to take this a step further, the one thing that I noticed that was coming up, and every time I get ready to look, what my mentor and life coach would call it leveling up. So when you get ready to move on up to the next part of your journey, and you're getting ready to do something big, and then all of a sudden you have that little voice inside of you, which is our ego. It's our alter identity that we created when we were very little to protect the inner child. It's us. It's not going to be left behind. It has to go along for the ride with this ascension process. So we have our higher self, we have our inner child, we have our ego. But really getting to understand that ego identity, that's the part of you where you might hear the negative self-talk, you might have the self-sabotage. Oh, if you don't call this person back right away, something bad might happen, like those kind of things. So if you think back to where you were at and what you were working on, and you felt so great about it, and then all of a sudden the voices get louder and louder and louder. So there was something bubbling up to the surface for me today, and I was saying, okay, take me back to a time of when this happened before. And I thought of all the times in my life where, as a child, I was shamed, I was guilted, I was humiliated, and told very early on, if you don't do this right now, this is going to happen. Like, really putting the fear in the body of a little child, and then take that energy, and then carrying that on into your adult years. It's literally, now with the tools that I have and everything that I've learned, I recognize it like, oh, okay, this is an old program that's still running, and let's sit with this and let's discuss this. And it's literally looking at how you can blow the energetic charge on it so that it doesn't continue to run in all parts moving forward. And as soon as I did that, I definitely had even more awareness. It was making the unconscious conscious, and saying, okay, and you're practicing. Literally, this is another example of practice what you preach, where you can be your own hero, you can show up for yourself. But as I mentioned before earlier in this live, my responsibility is to continue to be the best version of me, shine my light, hold space for another person. So if there's someone in your life that's going through a hard time right now, the most loving thing that you can do for them is hold space for them. But you are not here, none of us are here to fix someone. That's actually being more of a disservice to what their soul came here to sign up for, allowing them to have the experience. You can hold that space, send them love. If they're not close, you can send a prayer or visualize that there's from your heart space. So you'll be amazed how powerful this technique is. And I wanted to share this with you. So if you imagine that loved one in front of you, then you imagine your heart so just filling up with this beautiful white light. And then you can even if you're not a visual person, that's okay. Just hold that intention and just imagine you're just sending, like, just send them love, send them love. And you might see like green hearts. The color green represents the heart chakra, or just say, I'm sending this person love. And that is the most beautiful, most giving thing that you can do for another person. It can be for a person, it can be for an animal, someone's pet, something that's going on with the environment, something that's going on in the world. And just know that just you being you, sometimes even just showing up somewhere, you're exactly where you're meant to be. And I was witness of that, and I was sharing these, different things with my husband over the weekend, where when you get that inner nudging and you don't know why, but you just feel like, I know that I'm supposed to be here right now. Follow that guidance, because sometimes you are that presence to someone that may just simply need to be, in your space, be around you, where you can reflect back to them just how beautiful they are, just how powerful they are, and to help them to remember. I mean, that's what this whole awakening process is all about. It's remembering who you truly are and just how powerful you are, and all these beautiful gifts. And I will tell you from my own personal experience, with the more work that you do on yourself, the more you are your own hero for yourself, hero for your inner child, being that role model that you might not have had growing up, being that leader, being that world leader, speaking your truth, getting the words out, standing in your power, and truly owning it and walking your talk. You will continue to bring up, get out the anything that feels heavy, anything that feels stuck, continue to work through those layers and start to open up more of those dormant gifts that lay inside of you that simply want to be expressed. So I really wanted to share that with all of you today. I'm just going to take a look in the feed here. Yeah, I see you, I hear you, Aaron. Um, with everything that's going on, it's just being aware of, asking yourself the question, is this my energy or is this someone else's energy? So finding those techniques, if you find that you're getting caught up in a loop, breathwork is going to be your best friend, because when you're breathing spirit back into your body. So I'm talking about take the deep inhalation in through the nose. Try to hold that belly breath for a count of 3, and then completely get that air out of your mouth. I recently added yoga. I'm not new to yoga, but I recently added yoga. I just felt like that was something additional to my self-care practices. I do Pilates, I do Zumba, I love to dance, love to move and express, myself that way. But with yoga, the component that was quite helpful for me, it's not only the movement, like stretching, opening up my energy field, but the breath work. And it was like, wow, just taking that time out. So if you can do it, like literally lay flat on your back if you can. If you have any issues with lower back, the instructor recommended, like, you can bring your knees up and then put your arms out to the side, and then take that deep breath in, and then let that breath out with a sigh. And you will feel such calm and peace, inner peace, and just be in that space. And you start out your morning with some type of self-care, breath work, mindfulness meditation. If you feel called to do that, you can um, just really tap in and connect with source and allow your higher self to enter back into your vehicle and receive the guidance. And being in a space of gratitude, like doing all the different things to raise your vibration, move your body, get out in nature, you will really notice a difference in, how the flow of your day is going. But that breath work, it speaks for itself, and it's been such a big help for me. This big part of my journey was to heal all the old patterns and to reprogram my subconscious mind. And like I talked about before, making the unconscious conscious, having more awareness, and start to look at and identify, okay, what is an old program that's still running, and get pulling those things up by the roots. So this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I do when I hold space for others. Like I said, as a life coach, energy healing, um, mediumship readings, if you'd like to connect with a loved one, psychic readings. Sometimes I have clients that come in and they just want to dip their toes in the water and experience a session before they move on for something that may be a little bit more, require a longer term of sessions. This isn't meant to be a forever. This is to assist you, guide you, offer clarification, and have someone in your corner that has your back, holding space for you, but you're ultimately saying yes to you and participating in the process. Hi, Jim. Thank you for hopping on. Hi, Queen Amanda. Oh, so let's see here. Just want to make sure I have everything. Okay. So I see that there's someone that hopped on here that's going by Queen Amanda. Just so you know, Angelic Hands is one person. That is me, Ann Miller Friend. So anyone that contacts you, know that they are not affiliated with Angelic Hands in no way, shape, or form. So just a heads up, what you choose to do with that is completely up to you. But I actually haven't seen one of those in a while. So I identify with that as spam, and that's not tolerated here. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that I do not know that person, but everyone has their free will as far as what they choose to do with that information that's being presented. So I wanted to share a message. I haven't used this deck in a while. And when I first started my practice back in early 2016, I was experimenting with different things. So it was Reiki, and then, of course, grew since then. And I was dabbling with Oracle cards. So I thought, oh, it'll be fun to bring this deck out again. And this is one of my older ones. It's called Angel Therapy Oracle Cards. This was an older Doreen Virtue deck. So I'm just going to shuffle it up, and I'm just going to share a couple messages. Yeah, I see your comments, Aaron, and yes, Chandra, I will pull a card for you. All right. Well, there's two of them coming out. Okay, so the first one, Chandra, is parents. Hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to read the message on the bottom. So the divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother or father. So this, I get major goosebumps as I read this message. This has a lot to do with the healing of your inner child. So that's the part of you that likes to play. That's where our imagination is, creativity, magic, believes in miracles, and really get to know that part of you where it's just trying to get your attention and have a conversation. Like, you can even imagine your inner child in front of you, like a parent to a child, and ask her if she has anything that she'd like to share with you today, and honor that and see what comes up, and start to look at anything that's coming up to the surface for you, which will allow you to dig deeper instead of pushing it away or saying, I'll get to that later. No time like the present to start looking at those things. And really, like, the message that I like to share is the only way out is through. And reminding our inner child that he or she is safe, and being that hero and being that role model and being able to hold space for yourself. So even that means setting healthier boundaries with loved ones, colleagues, taking a look at, your circle and what feels good to you. And if something doesn't resonate, it's okay to switch things up. The other card that was coming up for you is crown chakra. So that's our head. So the message says, pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. So you have information that's coming through. Honor that. Spend some time doing the breath work, calling your higher self back into your body. See what comes through. Just allow some time for quiet. Have your pen, your journal, a piece of paper in hand, and start having that dialogue with self and ask if there's any insights, or just allow the information to come through. It might be a word, it might be a symbol, might be a couple of sentences. Just jot it down so you can reflect on it. We also receive a lot of information in our, we're in that deep REM sleep state. So it's a good idea to have pens and journals all over the house so you can jot that information down, because I'll be the first one to admit that if I say, oh, I'll remember that when I get up, a lot of times it'll be gone, or you might remember just a little piece of it. So the information will come through in different ways for you. Oh, you're very, very welcome. Okay. Yes, I will do a card for you, Jim. And I have time to do one more. So the third person, last person, if you'd like to let me know, I'll do a card for you. Oh, I see. It's Jimmy said you're in Ireland. It's evening. Well, good evening, and thank you for hopping on in your nighttime. It's always nice to see where everybody's coming in from. All right, Jim. So this card is for you. Okay, so the card is release. And it says, work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. And Archangel Michael, he's one of my main archangels that I work with every single day. So that is quite beautiful. It's the angel with the sword. And what I can share is, you can, if he resonates with you, or working with anyone on your team, and just saying, asking for a clearing like you can even imagine that you're just clearing your energy, opening everything up, or whatever energetic debris you may have picked up throughout the day. So if there's how do I explain it? If you feel kind of heavy, kind of dense, or like you just picked up so much stuff and having a hard time differentiating between what's your energy and what's someone else's, you can call them in. I work with Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, and just ask them to clear my space, bless my space. And that includes, your home, your vehicles, your living space, your workspace, this space. And if that resonates with you, I'd say go for it. There's no right or wrong way. It's just simply asking for help from, your team and spirit. We all have a team that's with us 24/7. They're just waiting for us to ask. Oh, beautiful. I see you're from Australia, Aaron. Beautiful, beautiful. And I see Chandra, you've been doing the breath work. That's wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more card. Okay, just see what the angels have for us today. I love this message. I haven't seen this one in a while, but it's integrity. So it says align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right for you. So no different than, this release card. It's starting to let go of those, it could be people, places, things, actions, old thought forms like the self-sabotage that I was talking about earlier, or the negative self-talk, and being mindful of, what we're thinking and what we're around, who we're around, and knowing that it's okay to give yourself time and space to recharge your batteries. And anybody out there that identifies with being an empath, a sensitive healer, whatever you identify yourself as, have a psychic, take that time for you. That's the most loving thing that you can do for yourself, rather than feeling you have to give until you feel so depleted that there's nothing left. So spirit always shows me the image, like if you're looking on a cell phone and the battery, and if you don't want it to be like this, you want it to, it's remembering to take that time, take some time in the morning, take some time again at night, even if it's just some breath work, or if you feel guided to do a little prayer, energy clearing. Be creative, have fun with it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's taking the time for you. Oh, thank you so much, Aaron. I hope that these messages resonated with you this week. I just really wanted to hop on and connect with all of you. And if there's anyone out there that you find that these messages would help, please feel free to like my Facebook page, share it with a loved one, subscribe to the YouTube channel, wherever you're coming in from. On my YouTube channel, I also shared my PTSD wellness workshop. So it's the replay. So if there's anyone out there from any type of PTSD, or if you're working through healing, I have the replays out there. And if you're able to make the live, it's $22.22 a person. The replays, I made them available. Everything is based on the love donations. Even if you can't do a love donation, that's okay. I am not expecting anything from that. Simply making you aware that the information is out there, and I'm following the guidance from my team and spirit to get the information out there to anyone that can use some healing to help you navigate through your healing journey, and know that there's options that are available to each and every one of us. So each workshop is with a live, it's 60 minutes in length. The replays are about a half hour, 30 minutes, but it's the healing portion. So it's the distant Reiki, light language healing. If you're not familiar with that, I have a full description on my website, but it's the language of the cosmos, the language of the universe. It may sound like I'm speaking a bunch of gibberish, but it's beautifully designed to bypass the human mind, the egoic mind, and your soul understands the information. It's channeled healing activations that are coming out where I'm speaking them, and I also deliver the information in different ways. You're receiving the information at a very deep cellular level. Whatever you're meant to take away from that is exactly what you will receive. And I'm trying to think what else is included, and a couple of tips and techniques as far as how to navigate with whatever's coming up. So when I talked about before, like triggers, or if you feel like you're getting caught up that doesn't feel good, if there's anxiety, depression, um, if you feel called to check it out, I would highly recommend that you take a look at them. So the first week's out there, second week is out there. I will be doing my third one this week, and I will actually be doing that one this Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're not able to make the live, just let me know. You can go ahead and submit your registration. Everything is set up. The links are available. And if you have any questions regarding any of my services, take a look at my website, which is reikiangelichansds.com. That's REIKIANGELIKHANDS.com. I'm sending love to each and every one of you, and continue to be your own hero, be your own best friend. Take a look in the mirror, say something kind to yourself today. Your inner child will thank you for it. Thank you.